What's up everybody, my name's Capp and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to use something in the upcoming 1.8 version that has been released in the newest snapshot. I'm on snapshot 14W04B that just came out today. And in the last snapshot version A, they came out with this option where you can use item frames like this that actually output redstone power, basically. You know, if you got it on 1, it outputs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and so on. So what I decided to do with this was to utilize that to make kind of a locking door. So if you want to make sort of a combination lock to try and use in adventure modes or something like that, then you basically just have to make sure that everything is in the right spot and you should be good to go. And the door opens just like that. So now I'm going to show you how to make it because it's pretty simple. Alright, here we go. First off, obviously what you just need to do is to stack it up so that you can make a door. And I'm using an iron door, of course. You can use a wooden door, but you know, kind of doesn't really lock people out if you want to keep them out of a certain area. Now I'm going to do the real quick, fast and dirty version of this, just so you can see how it actually works. You could easily increase it to 4 frames or even more if you wanted to. So you stick a frame on over here. I like to use arrows just because they kind of looks like it's pointing. By default, when you put it on here, it's pointing at 1. Remember, all the blocks go. It's 8 up here at the top, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you got it on 1 and 1 over here. Now for the next section, this is the actual redstone wiring here. Now I cannot take credit for this design of this over here. I saw this on a video by the name of Generic B. Some of you may know him. I didn't actually invent this. I'm not going to try and take credit for it by any means. But I wanted to show you guys how this actually works. It's really not that complicated. One thing for sure is that in the video he didn't really discuss too much about how it works, just how it was built, and so it was really confusing to me, so I'm going to try and explain it as I'm going here. Okay, first off, you have a comparator coming out of the wall from the frame with just the item on there in the spot of 1. You can see it actually is outputting here. You got some power. So if I put this down here, you'd see it lights up, but it doesn't light that one. That's basically how it's going to work. And for every one you have tick on the item frame, the further it's going to go out. So you do a comparator. You're going to need to put it in subtract mode, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Put a block here. I'll put a redstone torch on the back of this. Now you're going to put a furnace right here. Now you can use a bunch of different kinds of item devices. I like using a furnace just because with the 2 slots that are available here, the most it can output is 8, which coincides with the number that our item frame releases here. So you put another comparator there, redstone torch on top of this. Alright, then what you're going to do is you're going to extend this out this way. Go ahead and put this out like that. So you got this much right here. And throw a redstone torch on this one, some redstone dust right here, and on top, and then you're going to stick a repeater facing this direction. You're going to leave it completely off, and a redstone torch on top of there. Now as you can see, with the power of just 1 over here, with nothing coming out of this, you got the redstone torch is lit. This is where your output is going to be coming from. This is where it's going to go towards opening the door. Now when it comes to figure out what number you want it on here, it's all based on how many items you put inside the furnace here. So if you want your item frame to be a number 1, then what you have to do is to get this to output 0. And the reason why is when a comparator is on inverse like this, or a negative subtract mode if you want to, with this torch lit, it's this side minus that side. And with this setup here, what you want it to be is equal to 1 more than whatever that's outputting every time, which is why we have this extra space here. Now the reason why this is set up with these 2 wide here and this little weird setup this way with this torch is to make sure that it's only 1 more. If it's exactly even, it turns it off. If it's 1 more than the number we actually want it to be, then it'll light that torch up, and if it's 2 or more greater, then it'll deactivate the torch so that it's only even. Now inside of here, so if you want your item frame to be a number 1, you leave it 0. So this puts out 0, this is a 1, 1 minus 0 is 1. And that's how we have that there. If you want it to be a number 2 in your item frame, you'd put just a single item up here. And so now, right now, these are both equal. Put that on a 2. Now this is equal and greater than that one, so this lights it back up here. If you want to do 3, you'll do 14 items in there. If you want to do 4, it's 28. 5 is 55. If you want to do a 6 on the item frame, then you got to put a full stack of 64 up here and then 5 more down here at the bottom. And if you want to do the highest number of 7 there, then you got to do a 64 and a 19 up over here. So it's the order is 0, 1, 14, 28, 42, 55, 64 at the top and 5 on the bottom, and 64 and then 19, and that'll give you all 8 possible options there. Now what you're going to do is basically just rebuild it on the inverse on the other side. Just like that. See, now I've got the exact same thing, I just built it backwards. So over here I put the furnace off to the left and built off. Over here I put the furnace off to the right and built off. Now from here, basically this is where you decide what you want your lock to be. So for simplicity's sake, we'll make this one going to be a 2. So we put this over here so it outputs 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And for this one, let's say we'll do 14 over here so that this output is 3. So you have a number 2 and a number 3 here. So that's on 1, 2. This is on 1, 2, 3. Now to double check, make sure your outside torches are lit up because this is where the power is going to be sent from them. Okay, now after that, what we're going to do to make sure that it actually activates the door and that you have to have both of these is we're going to do an AND gate. Now AND gates are not that difficult at all. They're pretty simple, but we're going to do sort of an inverted AND gate. So what you need to do is come out 2 spaces from the edge of your wall, 1, 2 this way, and basically just dig a tunnel. I like to keep everything kind of hidden and buried as much as possible, so if you wanted to, have your redstone come out and go underground right over here immediately, then you could. It's kind of personal preference, I'm going to clear out this area here just to make life a little bit easier to work with. And this one right here. Now you're going to go down 3 blocks from the door here. So 1, 2. Now you're going to clear away. You can clear away just this 1 block here because that's all that's going to be needed. When you see a redstone torch underneath it, that's how it's going to power the door. So this is how we're going to actually set this up here. You need to make sure you have kind of a stairway system going to your redstone torch over here. Redstone dust, I guess you want to call it. Coming out this way, get rid of that one so I'm not in the wrong spot. Okay, hold on, we're going to do one more step here. There, this will make it a little bit easier here. Clear this away. Let me get all of this going here. So that they're kind of both coming into this little entryway here. Now what you need to do to make your AND gate is you just take 3 blocks, put them like this. Pretty simple. And you're going to put a torch on this side, a torch on this side, and a redstone in the middle. Now what this does is it ensures that both of these have to be turned off for the red dust to actually work to open the door. And from here, all you have to do is to make it an inverted AND gate. Put a redstone down there and a torch underneath it. That means when both of them are off, this one turns on. So if your signal through your door is wrong, the door shuts. And it'll only open, it'll only open if you have the right number selected. Ta-da! See, this is what it looks like from above here. Redstone torches is coming down both sides into an inverted AND gate, or a NAND gate, I guess some people call it. Redstone torch on top. Both of these, once they're off, will allow this torch right here to come on. Let me change one of the settings on this so you can see. Turn this side off, but this side's still on. So this one torch is keeping that one from being lit up here. And then from there, all you have to do is just go through and cover it up. Of course, if you wanted to use this to incorporate inside of a maze map or anything like that, just make sure when you put down your dirt over here, don't put one here because it'll cut off the redstone dust. So that's why it's always nicer to go underground, like from the very beginning over here, so that you don't cut it off. Because if you cut off the signal, it kills the signal over on the other side there. So don't put a block there. It just makes life easy. And there you have it, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is going to be coming in version 1.8 once it's released. Oh, and if you want to make this really complicated, if you were like, 2 is pretty easy to guess, I could, sit there and spend just a short amount of time and figure it out. You could put down a second item frame right here, and then all you'd have to do is just recreate the same thing twice right here, and then from there, on both of these torches, have it come out here into an AND gate, and then so if both of those are on, then it outputs a signal into the AND gate underneath. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Pretty simple. Kind of a cool little concept. Just something fun to do to keep it from having to be a standard button combination lock. Give your gamers some other puzzles and stuff they have to try and figure out. So, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I'll try my best to help answer out if I can. In the meantime, thank you guys for all your help and support. Throw a like on the video if you enjoyed it. You guys have a good one, and I will catch you later.